Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into something pretty profound, this whole idea of patience and the powerful concept that everything and everyone has its own perfect timing. So let's get right into it.
I mean, who hasn't felt this way, right? That ache of waiting for your moment, for that breakthrough that just feels constantly out of reach. You put in the work, you hold on to hope, but man, that clock just keeps ticking. Well, in this explainer, we're going to unpack a framework that speaks directly to that feeling.
All right, so here's our roadmap. We'll walk through 5 stages. First, this idea of a time for everything. Then, the promise of growth. Then we'll tackle the nature of waiting, followed by a wild, sudden acceleration. And finally, we'll get to your time to shine.
Okay, let's jump into part 1, a time for everything. This is really the foundation for this whole discussion, this core principle that there's an underlying order to things, a natural season for it all.
You've probably heard this famous verse from Ecclesiastes. It sets the stage perfectly. It suggests that life isn't just random chaos. Instead, there's a designated time for every single purpose. So, here's the crucial takeaway. That season of waiting you might be in, it's not an accident. It's actually part of a much larger, purposeful schedule.
So with that in mind, let's build on it. What about when things feel small or like nothing is happening? Well, part 2 is about the promise of growth, the idea that even in the smallest beginning, a promise of massive growth is already there.
This is so cool. According to a verse from Daniel, from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand, thy words were heard. Think about that for a second. The process doesn't start when you see the results. It starts the moment you commit. Your intention, your very first step, is heard and acknowledged instantly. And look at the scale of the promise change. The vision laid out in Isaiah isn't about a little bit of improvement. It's about explosive, exponential growth. We're talking about going from a little one to 1,000, from a small one into a strong nation. That is the incredible end goal that was set from day one.
And now we get to the part that's the hardest for, well, pretty much all of us, the wait. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if waiting isn't just an empty delay, but a defined, purposeful phase with a guaranteed ending?
Let's break down the waiting period into these 3 steps. First, a vision is given, but it's for an appointed time. It has a date, even if we can't see the calendar. Second, that wait time isn't slackness or a sign that something's wrong. It actually has a purpose. And third, the arrival is an absolute guarantee. It will surely come, it will not tarry. You see? This flips the script from waiting in uncertainty to waiting with certainty.
Okay, so after that season of waiting, what comes next isn't a slow ramp-up. It's a season of incredible, almost unbelievable speed. This is the moment the entire rhythm shifts, and suddenly everything starts happening all at once.
Just listen to how the prophet Amos puts it. You can feel the anticipation in the words. A time is coming that is going to completely defy the normal rules of seasons and work.
Now think about what this actually means, because it's wild. The plowman, who's getting the soil ready for new seeds, is catching up to the reaper, who is still gathering the current harvest. Planting and harvesting are happening at the same time. It's this picture of supernatural abundance, a creative explosion where time itself seems to bend.
And the imagery just keeps on building. The person treading grapes to make wine is overtaking the one who's just sowing the seeds. The very end of one process is happening at the exact same time as the very beginning of the next. The cycles have collapsed into one single moment of massive, incredible productivity.
And all of this brings us to the final, amazing stage. The promise isn't just fulfilled. It actually comes with a complete restoration of everything that was lost during that long wait.
This is honestly one of the most powerful promises you can find. It's not just about moving forward, it's about getting back the time that you thought was lost forever. The years themselves, the text says, are restored. That's just a huge concept.
And notice how specific this is. It's not some vague promise. The text literally lists every kind of devastation. The locust, the cankerworm, the caterpillar, the palmer worm. This means every single type of loss, every different kind of setback you faced, it's all accounted for. It's all part of the restoration. And this is the climax of the whole thing. It's a command, a call to action. Arise, shine, for thy light is come. The waiting is over. The restoration is complete. The promise isn't on its way anymore. It is here. It's a present reality. Your time has arrived.
So after going through this whole journey of time and patience and breakthrough, the final question really turns to you. This whole framework suggests that your moment isn't just a possibility.
It's an appointment. The promise has been spoken. So the only question left is, what will you do when your light comes?